I've always defined love as the self-sacrificial effort of pouring out your life for another. When we talk about the Christian view of love, the Christian idea of love is always going to be sacrificial and substitutionary. The very crux or the very pinnacle of God's love is that He substituted Himself for us. Everything that we deserve, He took on in the cross. Everything that we needed to do, He did in His whole life. And so every time I think about love, when people talk about love, they might define it as an emotion, or they might define it as a feeling, sentimentality, the sparks that happen between people. It's a thing that I experience as chemistry. But as God defines love, or as God is love, it costs us something. Love is always going to cost you. Real love will. I've said before that it's not real love unless you love the unlovable. Unless you find someone who's very, very difficult to pour out your life to be around, to hang with, and then you just pour out to them. The Christian idea of love is always going to entail that you give part of your life away, whether it's time, energy, resources. And as you deplete your own emotional capital and as you kind of pour out of your own tank, the other person is filled up, and there's always going to be an exchange. The secular idea of love might just be love, might just be feelings, but in the Bible it's different in that it's called grace, and grace is costly love. Grace will always, always cost you something, and Jesus paid that ultimate price by laying down His life. That's why the book of John says, greater love has no one than this, that He laid down His life for His brothers. So when we say that God is love, there's no other concept of God in any other religion, any other philosophy, system of thinking in which God actually became humble to die for His creation, to become one of us, to take on our infirmities and weaknesses and our sin and our bodily state. And so you have this idea of a God stooping down almost into the world that He made. It would be like if I made a bunch of toys, tiny little toys, and I became one of them and lived with them. And so in that sense, God Himself is a perfect demonstration and embodiment of love because He was able to become the very creation that He made to die with us, to die for us.